What up, Tolos? Welcome to Studio Day Jeffrey, where it is time for the schedule. We got the schedule release. If you were listening to 105.3 The Fan yesterday from 2 to 7, you would have heard it a little bit early, as we know how to get secrets. We know how to do that. But there's rules, you know? You got rules when it comes to schedules. Some people might think it's dumb. That's okay. But you have to. It's in the Geneva Convention that you have to look at the schedule, go week by week, and pick how many games they're going to win. It's the rules. I don't make the rules. I just follow the rules. So let me move myself out of the way of where I'm going to put the schedule here on the screen. Okay. Here's my rules. First of all, I love that the NFC East games, look at the last 5 weeks of the season. At Washington, at New York Giants, Washington at home, Arizona, at Philadelphia. 4 of the last 5 games are division games. So that is awesome. I dig it. And, of course, they're going to open at Tampa Bay, defending Super Bowl champs. And starting with that game, here's my thing about the Tampa game. I don't fear Tampa Bay. Now, you have to also take that with a grain of salt because I called Tom Brady washed last year. That didn't age well for me. But I don't fear Tampa Bay. I don't like playing Tampa Bay early in the year for the Cowboys because what's going to happen with the Cowboys is they're going to have a lot of young contributors on defense, and you would much rather play a really good football team in the middle or later part of the year than in week 1 because I do think that Micah Parsons is going to be a big part of the defense. Kelvin Joseph is going to be a big part of the defense. Oso Digizua, Chauncey Golston, like these guys are going to play. I would rather not have them play in their first NFL game against a team that has a good offense and a good defense and a super smart quarterback and on and on and on and on and on. So, in order to not be a homer, the Cowboys start the season 0-1. This is my other rule about going through the schedule and doing record predictions. It's my other rule. If you're going to give them a game that most people think they're going to lose, then the next one where there's doubt, go ahead and swing it the other way because you want to be as accurate as possible, okay? The goal is to be right, not to be a massive homer. Yesterday on the air, I predicted 15-2 because I was doing a bit, and it was fun. Tampa, loss. At L.A. Chargers, that's another tough one. Win. Because here's the other thing about the Cowboys that we're going to forget. If nobody's hurt, it's going to be one of the 3 best offenses in football. That's going to happen. You have a really good quarterback, you have an incredible wide receiver core, and you have a good offensive line. Defense has to come along. But the Cowboys are going to have a good team, and the Chargers find ways to lose games that are close games. So I look forward to that happening. Plus, they'll have a whole bunch of rest going into that Charger game. You're 1-1. Philadelphia. What throws it off a little bit is running quarterbacks. Results of games can get screwy on you. That's the Jalen Hurts dilemma. But the Cowboys have a better roster than the Philadelphia Eagles. W. You're 2-1. Carolina. Sam Darnold's a bad quarterback. His best game of his life was probably against the Cowboys, but we have 3 years of evidence that Sam Darnold is not good at NFL football. So that's a win. That's 1-2. That's 3-1. Giants are a bad football team. That's 4-1. At New England. See, now, at New England is where I'm going to call it a loss, but I'm going to do it for no reason. Like whether it's Cam Newton or Mac Jones, I think that's going to be a struggle offensively for New England. But this is just the part of my Cowboy brain that's like, you've seen this team play a lot. Stop pretending like they're going to beat every team that they should beat. So I'm just going to give them a loss in the middle of the schedule. Bam! You lose at New England. Now you're 4-2. Bye. At Minnesota. Justin Jefferson thinks Kirk Cousins sucks. I don't know if you guys saw those quotes. I actually think Kirk Cousins isn't a bad quarterback at all. I think he's a pretty solid NFL quarterback. You're at 4-2. You're at Minnesota. I'm going to call it a loss. And again, for no reason. You're better than Minnesota. You're better than Minnesota. But I can't. I do this every year. Every year you look at the schedule and you're like, oh, they're better than that team. They're better than that team. They're better than that team. And you look up at the end of the year and you go, oh, I got them going 13-4. And you're like, that crap isn't going to happen. Tampa Bay loss. Chargers win. Philadelphia win. Carolina win. New York win. At New England. really make the Cowboys loss. But since I gave him a loss to New England, I'm going to give him the win against Minnesota. 5-2, right? That's balance. That's how we like to do this. 5-2. Then you play Denver. Denver doesn't have a quarterback. 6-2. Atlanta, 7-2. Those are both home games. At Kansas City, I'm going to call that a loss, guys. Okay, 7-3. Las Vegas is interesting. The problem here is that I have the Cowboys at 7-3. This is what always happens. Do I really believe they'll be 7-3? Yeah. Based on going through those games. 7-3. And then you go play Vegas. Just because of the rest of the schedule, I'm going to give them a loss against Vegas. I'm going to make them 7-4. At New Orleans is a win. Let's flip that. You beat Vegas, you lose to New Orleans. What's my record now? I got lost. My 8-4. Loss, win, 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 loss. It's 4-2. Win, 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 7-2. Loss, 7-3. Win, 8-3. Loss, 8-4. At Washington, I'm going to call a loss because I'm going to split the Washington games. 8-5. At the Giants, I'm going to call a win. 9-5. Washington, win. 10-5. Give me a loss to Arizona. 10-6. And a win at Philadelphia to end the season. It's 11-6. Yeah, can't be afraid to predict it. Can't be scared. Barring a bunch of injuries, playing in this division, Cowboys are an 11-win team. You can draw it however you want to get there, but I think 11 wins is very realistic for the Cowboys. If you keep your quarterback healthy and you don't lose multiple guys on the offensive line and your defense is somewhere approaching competent, then you can win 11 games. 11-6. So it's going to take me a while to get the hang of 11-6 instead of 10-6 or 11-5. 11-6. A couple quick mailbag questions. Roger, Zeke being just shy of another 1,000-yard rushing season with a somewhat questionable O-line last year and passing heavily early in the season, do you believe he's actually lost a step, or you think it's an exaggeration from the outside looking in? Depends. I think Zeke's lost a step from college. College, that dude could make you miss, could run you over, could run away from you, and he just hadn't had those sort of runs. But at times last year, he looked like he was creeping back towards the guy we were used to him being. Zeke's a really good running back. You just know, if you've listened to me before, I just don't believe in paying running backs. Zeke's good. He needs to bust off more big plays, and he needs to be better at breaking tackles, which one game last year, I think he broke like 11 tackles. So it's in there. You just need to be more consistent. Joel, assuming a relatively healthy offense, starting O-line plays 70% of the snaps together, what are realistic yardage numbers for Dak, wide receiver 1, Zeke in this new 17-game season? Zeke we'll say about 1,400 yards. Dak, about 5,000 yards. Which passing yards, like, I'm not saying 5,000 like, yes, he's the best. I'm saying 5,000, that's going to be a normal number in the NFL for good quarterbacks on teams that throw the ball a decent amount. So 5,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, 11 picks, something like that for Dak. Wide receiver 1, why didn't you say a name? I'll say wide receiver 1 still Amari Cooper. Give Amari 90 catches for 1,275 and 8 touchdowns, give or take. Pulling numbers out of thin air is fun, but I like doing it. All right, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you're checking 1053thefan.com every day. Make sure you're tuned in from 2 to 7, Monday through Friday on 1053 The Fan, the home of the Cowboys. And leaving the comments on youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh what you want to hear about tomorrow so I can generate some more content for you. I love you. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody. I love you. Bye.